Welcome to week 1 on arithmetics on our first class, and we're going to talk about being capped with shame. Class 1 is being capped with shame. How are ways that our capacity is not being reached because of shame? Well, first, I did a video on shame and the ego on my own personal site. I recommend it's a 25-minute video. You go over there and you learn how shame is actually born, because it's born from our ego, and our ego creates it. Our ego creates shame as a tool to protect itself. And if you can understand that, you can detach yourself from the actual feeling of it, because what our ego wants to do is it never understood how to keep that separated from your identity. So shame is supposed to just be a signal that there's a problem, but because our ego has created it as a tool, we don't look at it that way. We look at shame as another attack on us. And at some point, our ego probably created that to protect us in a very important part of our life where we needed that, but it's not serving us anymore. And it keeps people in these, these constant loops and these constant patterns of self-destruction, because these tools that our ego made to protect us are running behind the scenes, kind of like a computer. Sometimes my phone's dying and I'm like, why is my battery dying so fast? And then I have all these, programs running. I have to go through there and, swipe and get all the, the background noise. That's what shame does. It's running in the background. It's constantly running in the background. And because it's running in the background, we usually don't understand it, although a lot of our decisions through the day, a lot of the ways we process, everything, even good things, is through this shame. So in order for you to get the most out of arithmetics, you have to understand that the number one thing you're going to have to deal with going into it is shame. And shame is, instead of you understanding shame as a pattern, you look at it as it's something you identify it as yourself. And that's the key. If you can understand and look at these things that we're going to deal with, because we're going to be talking about alcoholism, we're going to be talking about eating patterns, we're going to be talking about traumas, and we're going to be talking about things that, our egos don't like to talk about. And it's created this shame loop to keep us from actually, wanting to grow in capacity. So going into this is very important to, number one, detach the ego. If we talk about things that trigger you, you have to detach your ego from that and say, nope, I'm not going to listen to your story on this. I'm going to hear this from a truth perspective. It's an event. It's something that happened. I stopped trying to drink alcohol for many, many years. I'm 46 years old, and I've been drinking since I was 16. I've successfully stopped drinking a few different times, but it was white knuckling. It was going into the grocery stores and still looking at the bottles and just, why is that all gone? Because I finally realized that I'm not a bad person because I wanted alcohol. I'm not diseased. I'm not broken. I'm not this, horrible bad person because I found relief in the bottle. I had to learn that I'm still a valuable person, and I was just using something to help me overcome different patterns in my life. Once you can understand, we have to move forward without shame. Shame is the killer. It's the thing that it's the energy that keeps these loops going. And once you can identify with the pattern, instead of it being you and identifying with it as you individually in your identity, you're going to be able to look at this and change. So if you get triggered a little bit, if we say some words like, eating habits, and you're looking in the mirror, you're like, man, I don't even want to talk about this. That is a trigger point. That's shame speaking. And if you can identify that, say, nope, shame, I'm not going to listen to your story today. I'm going to go find the truth in this. You're just all you are is a pattern in a loop, and you were there to help protect me, but now, no, you're not protecting me anymore. Once you can do that, change is coming. Not change, capacity is coming, larger capacity. Your love for your family is going to grow. Your love for your land is going to grow, and your country, your land for your world and nature is going to grow. But more importantly, your love for yourself is going to grow, because you're going to grow in capacity. The only way through capacity is to face the things that we don't want to face. And a lot of us, we don't face it because we've been hurt and we put up these walls of shame. They're illusions. So as we go forward, we're going to move forward and breaking down these walls of shame, understanding that they're just patterns and they're loops, that you don't identify as them anymore as an individual. And as we do this, you're going to start noticing your capacity to grow in ways that you could never believe. So I'm excited that you're on this journey with us. It's wintertime. It's a great time to be recording this and thinking about this and pondering these things. And, I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I'm excited to do this with you. So you guys enjoy your winter and eat fruits.